How you doing, people? This is Jazz, oldfashionedhealth.com. And if you remember, the last couple of weeks I've been telling you about sugar and salt intake, some specific products that we ingest in our body. So I'm going to get a closer look this week and point out some other specific products that you may not think has the amount of sugar or the amount of sodium in it. So for the first product I want to show you is something that I've always used to eat, especially back home in Philly. We have what we call hoagies, or some people call them subs. So they're sandwiches, they're really good, and I always used to get this on there, but I didn't really know the ramifications as far as how much sodium is involved in it, right? So I don't know if you can guess what it is, but it's pickles. Yes, pickles have a lot of sodium in it. Now, I split it in three just so I can show you, for instance, 1/3 of a pickle in this container has 330 milligrams of sodium. Now, if you remember, the daily recommended intake is 2,400 milligrams, right? So if you take a whole pickle, you have about 990 milligrams of sodium in one pickle. 330 just in 1/3 of a pickle. So you're almost at half your daily recommended intake for sodium just by eating one pickle. So anything pickled, you want to make sure you're careful of, because it's usually pickled with salt. So be careful of that one, right? So the next one I'm going to show you is something that it's a vegetable. It's not a fresh vegetable. A lot of people don't understand that anything canned, pretty much, you're going to have a good amount of sodium to preserve the food, pretty much. So the next one is going to be cream-style corn. Really little can, right? In this one can, a serving size is going to be about half a cup. Half a cup of this is going to be 300 milligrams of sodium. So in this can, there's a cup of it in here, so you have 600 milligrams of sodium in this one little cup. You got to understand, if you're feeding your kids vegetables, I would recommend serving them fresh vegetables if you can. I would try to stay away from the canned food. I know it's hard to, but if you do, make sure you read the back of the label, and more importantly, make sure you're reading the serving size. Really got to stress that point. Alright, so that is some products for sodium and salt intake. Let's move on to sugar now. Now this next product is something I used to always eat when I was a kid. I know parents give this out to their kids a lot for snacks. During lunchtime, they mix in their kids to school with this as well. I don't eat it too much now, but when I was younger, I used to eat it all the time. And this is another canned product, and it's going to be sliced peaches. Harmful, right? Sliced peaches is fruit, but you have to understand that there's really sweet syrup in these cans. So in this can, since we're doing sugar, right, the recommended intake for sugar for a person on a daily basis is 25 grams of sugar. So we moved from milligrams, now we're on to grams. So sugar is going to be 25 grams a day. Just this can right here, 22 grams of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. Please, when you go into the store, just take a second, turn it over, read the label a little bit. 22 grams, this is like your day's serving of sugar, pretty much. So they're not giving this advice for nothing or giving you suggestions. This is to keep you healthy, right? So be careful. If you can get fresh fruit, always better. Please get fresh fruit. So let's move on to the next one. Let's talk about breakfast. Everybody's in a rush. Everybody doesn't have time, but it is the most important meal of the day. Now, what about those people who say, well, I can't find the time, or you just don't have the time? Okay, so you don't have time, so you try to get something on the go. What are you going to get? You might get a bar, you might get a smoothie, or grab a piece of fruit, some yogurt, or you might get some oatmeal to go. Now, this product here, I'm very wary of products, whether it's cream of wheat or oatmeal, that are pre-flavored pretty much. You got to really watch that. So this product right here may seem healthy. Not saying it's not totally healthy, but it's a good idea. It's Quaker Medley's oatmeal, peach almond oatmeal. Pretty sure it's good, but me personally, I would prefer you go and get the regular oatmeal and then add your own sweetener to it, such as honey, right? This right here has 19 grams of sugar in it. If I take the same amount with the regular oatmeal, regular oatmeal has no sugar in it. Add your own honey. Honey is going to be beneficial to you anyway, as opposed to this artificial flavoring in here, pretty much, which is going to give it the 19 grams of sugar. It's a lot of sugar. I know you may be in a rush, but take the time, really care about your health, take the time to get up a little bit earlier, cook your breakfast if you can, or if you're at a job where your job has a cafeteria, make smart choices, right? So those are the sodium and sugar. Now let's move on to another product that people always tend to eat when they're watching games, watching sports, or just sitting on the couch, right? Let's move on to that product. Alright, so let's talk about a favorite snack that everybody pretty much eats. Let's talk about the great potato chip. Boom. So here we have sea salt and black pepper potato chips. Now right here, what I did was took out a serving. A serving of this is going to be about 12 chips, 150 calories, 190 milligrams of sodium. Not bad, but look at it. We can eat that in one handful. That's one serving. Again, please remember, you have to look at the back of the bag. So if I turn around, simply turn the bag around, look at the nutrition facts. Serving size, 12 chips. How many servings per container? 8. There's 8 servings here. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people can eat this bag in one sitting. Let's not kid ourselves. This is the case, right? So turn that 150 into 1,200 calories now, and turn that 190 milligrams of sodium. You just ate 1,500 milligrams of sodium. One bag right here. Nobody's eating one serving. Nobody's eating one serving. You can be in an office party trying to be all cute. You're not going to eat one serving. You're going to eat more than one serving. And so my point is, for all these products, from the chips to the quick oats to the canned fruit to the canned veggies down to the pickled pickles, my whole point is the same. Please remember to look at the back, at the label. That's all you do. If you don't look at anything, look at the sodium and look at the sugar. The leading cause of death in America is heart disease. That high blood pressure, that sugar in your system. You don't always have to have this. I think I did a video a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, on kale chips. Kale chips are great. Very healthy for you. It's a superfood. You can have that instead of having that right there, right? So again, this is Jazz for oldfashionedhealth.com. I hope you learned something here today. Stay tuned. We have a couple of things in store for this week. We're going to have another book of the month for April. If you don't know, the book of March was Tough Times Don't Last, but Tough People Do. So we're going to finish that book up this week coming up, and we got another surprise for you in the middle of the week. So stay tuned for us. This is Jazz signing out.